Hello, this is Tushar Arvind Modi, once again the author of the unique book. The title is Heart Attack is Not Your Fault. Fault is only in the food. Okay, so once again the very boring subject of food, because what has happened is that nowadays almost everyone has become a PhD in nutrition and MBA in nutrition. You ask anyone, he will start pretending to know everything about food. And when you ask more details about it, he will immediately shut up. Because actually he doesn't know, only in bits and pieces he has heard about it, so he feels he knows. He never implements anything. Only thing is, he is in an illusion that he has the knowledge. So now, this is probably my fourth video. So, which topic do we take up? Should I take up the most controversial topic? You also might have read many health books, right? You may not have found even a single book which says that non-veg is good. While here this chap, I mean myself, Tushar Arvind Modi, says that non-veg is not bad at all. So what's the logic there? Because see, today anyone can write a health book and very easily he can mention a disclaimer at the bottom saying that there is no guarantee, or he will write a small note, results will vary. So the author is not responsible for anything at all. So any BS he can write, right? So what do we do when a person who is non-vegetarian gets a heart attack? Doctors who are examining him will immediately tell him, say, it's all because you were eating non-veg. So my God, that person is going to get scared shit. Oh my God, why did I eat non-veg at all? Why no one guided me that I shouldn't be eating non-veg? But now actually that's not the case. Because as soon as you take the second case, where a pure vegetarian, in fact I have read a book by a saint who got a heart attack, pure vegetarian saint. He got a heart attack at age of around 60, 58 or 60, and he had to go through a bypass surgery. And even he wrote a very good book on his health, although he didn't mention much about nutrition. He just said you need to take balanced diet. Now what does that balanced diet means? Nothing was said there. But anyway, I was interested, so I definitely read all the pages, all the sentences, all the words of his book, because of course that is what I call research. I am desperate about knowledge. You all may not be desperate, I know it, but I am desperate. You give me any kind of knowledge, I am ready to pick it up. Of course, I won't follow it immediately. I'll try to judge it on my own. But I love all sort of knowledge. So actually, there is no logic. It's like when you go through books and books, at various reputed libraries. Like I used to go to British Library, American Library, have spent hours and hours on encyclopedias. They where it's like if you study fruits one by one, they will not blame any fruits at all. If you go through vegetables one by one, they will not blame any vegetables at all. But as soon as you discuss, as soon as they discuss refined oil, immediately they will say, yes, there is a chance that you may get heart attack if you consume these kind of oils. Then when the discussion is about refined flour, maida, they will immediately say, yes, with this product there is a definite chance of you going down nutritionally, and so you may get a heart attack. Then discussing refined sugar, yes, even here they will say, yes, there is a chance that you may get a heart attack if you over consume sugar. While in non-veg, they have only one point which says that it contains cholesterol. So they will discuss in a very disputing way that since it contains cholesterol, there is a chance that you may get a heart attack because of non-veg. So in non-veg, all other factors are forgotten. Whether the animal which was cut into pieces was healthy or unhealthy, that is never discussed. The preservatives and chemicals which are used to preserve the animals, those points are never discussed. Now obviously those chemicals or preservatives, they are not really the food which was given to us by God. My theory is basically based on the God theory. You maximize the food which is originally given by the God. You just think from Adam and Eve onwards, and you suddenly realize that only certain things were given on this earth as a food item for human beings and certain animals also. But over years and years, decades and decades, we tend to develop new and new food items, and there is a desperation for variety. So something or other, some or the other creative person, he creates something new. See, nobody knew there is something called refined oil. It is only by slow and steadily somebody developed it. Even sugar, nobody dreamt that okay, I'll invent sugar. Slowly and steadily it was invented, and so you started eating sugar. Similar was the case with maida. They knew that the original wheat atta will get bad very soon. So somewhere someone thought, and then the research was done, the machines were developed. So the top layer, the nutritious layer was removed. So only the unnutritious part remained, and even that was like treated with some chemicals to make it white. So that even the remaining nutrition is lost. So since it doesn't have any nutrition, the insects, etc., etc., they don't come to consume it, and the shelf life of such a atta would be enhanced. So anything which is cooked out of maida, where even sugar is used or even refined oil is used, it will stay on the shelf for months together. And if you take the example of pickles, you know that the validity is nearly 1 year. So that's good, because there are places where you need these foods. Suppose you have gone to a hill station, or you are on a picnic. There obviously you may not be free enough to cook. So on such occasions, then suppose you are traveling to for your daily job. Suppose someone who is staying at Borivali is going to Churchgate daily. Somewhere in between, all the stations are fully packed with packaged snacks. So it's okay. That much quantity is perfectly okay, and don't ever regret eating those fried items. Although they are bad, but it's perfectly okay. Everything depends on the quantity. So just make it a point not to consume it too much, and at home you need to have your balanced diets. Balanced diets are also like very simple meals with 90% minimum natural foods. So please try to come out of the illusions of this veg and non-veg. And it doesn't mean that I am trying to say so you start eating non-veg. I am only trying to point out what exactly is giving a heart attack, what exactly is common to the vegetarian and to the non-vegetarian, because it's not that non-vegetarian person eats only and only and only non-veg. Obviously he is going to eat the veg part of it, and those are the real culprits which have given the heart attack. And yet the whole trouble is that nothing can be proved. Although I am an experienced person, and due to my thinking and research I am saying all these things to you, but no proof will ever emerge. So maybe even I don't have any answer to more detailed question, okay, how exactly non-veg is so good. So maybe there are animals who eat only non-veg, right? Nothing really happens to them. They live their own lives, whatever is there in their destiny. Of course, nothing like destiny, but maybe whatever is their life's package given by the gods. They are supposed to eat non-veg, so they eat only non-veg throughout their life. So that's the thing. So what I am trying to say is that become aware of the culprits in the veg, because these are the only things that the entire humanity have modified throughout all these thousands of years. Non-veg was never modified. It's only the veg items which are modified. Non-veg is only modified to the extent that they have used preservatives and chemicals so that it lasts longer. For example, if you are going traveling by a ship or you are on a cruise, obviously the non-veg portion will go bad. So obviously they have to use the chemicals and preservatives, and they will serve it with those chemicals and preservatives. Now it's up to you at that time when you are on a cruise to choose the food. Now decide whether you will choose the veg food or the non-veg food. Where exactly are you safe? Just decide. First of all, just think hard, and then you take a decision what you should be doing for that trip of that cruise ship. Maybe a month also sometimes. I've heard that cruises take nearly a month. So the choice is all yours. So should we end this topic at this junction, or should we keep discussing whole day? because even that is possible. And as I told you, for me, I have been doing all this research since so many years. I am really bored of this topic, and it is so boring even to tell the public that it is only food which is responsible. I have already given you an example of a highly stressed person who is about to commit suicide. He has to take all the trouble to commit suicide, and yet, even while he is trying to hang himself or take poisons, nothing really happens to him. Why? Because stress and tension has no effect on your heart attack. It is only the long term effect of the food which is going to take place. And actually, really, it is unimaginable. Even I got confused when I used to read all these books and encyclopedias at the libraries, that how, in what way, like, food can be responsible. We have been eating so many variety of foods. How do I pinpoint exactly? So then it's only like after doing all these research, books, encyclopedias, slowly and steadily I reached conclusions and reached how to pinpoint those few culprits, and how exactly you don't get into the excess of certain foods. Those are enlisted in my book actually. So that's why I am saying, see, so far what I have done is I have only named those common things like refined oils, refined flour, sugar. So people have started feeling that, oh, these things we know. So then what is new about this book? That's the whole trouble. People keep on assuming that, oh, this is what we already know. So why should we spend such a big amount of money to know what we already know? My dear men or women or housewives, even though you know, you are still going wrong, because you treat this medical knowledge as something very not really unique. It's like some sort of routine. It's like you have made a joke of all this medical research. To some extent, the medical research, the medical scientists have sincerely given you a solution, but it's like the public have made it into a big joke. And why? Because mainly, say, on the roadsides, all these things are available. So even in your mind, you know that you should have been eating this cold pressed oil or kachi gani oil. Then you say, forget it. See, we keep expecting, but nobody is going to use it. So forcefully you eat at the restaurants, forcefully you eat the caterers food, forcefully you eat the roadside vendors food. And since you don't have a proof, you just shut up and you eat, and you don't even know when exactly you have become prone to a heart attack, or like your whole body has slowed down because of this false obesity. Because obesity is basically only and only because of these refined foods, or else you will really get a six pack abs just without doing anything at all. You just have to avoid the refined foods, and there are certain foods which I have named in my book, that you have to understand how they are over concentrated and you should be avoiding it. And yet, like, off and on, it's okay if you taste it. Okay, so this video is getting a bit long, so I think I should be ending. Maybe in some other new video again I will come up with a new video, but I really hope that you are going through this video thinking that yes, this chap seems to be more sincere and not like other people who have just copied something from here and there and they make videos. While here I am really coming up with all these facts with solid research from medical books, from encyclopedias, and you just cannot imagine how keen I am on my knowledge. Even today I go through all sort of other videos by, even those bogus videos by people who don't know ABC of nutrition, and yet I go through it to understand his lack of knowledge, so that maybe I can learn something. And yet I don't start practicing all these things because I do not want to give any strict diet to anyone. I want the least possible ways, the least possible rules, so that he can easily implement it in his life, in his own life, and in his family's life. Tell me, what is the use if I give a very complicated formulas and this and that? Then obviously you will lose interest and say, forget it, it's all one and the same thing. So anyway, this video is really getting longer, and is enough for today. I really hope that if you like it, please share it to other social medias, mainly WhatsApp, because nowadays Facebook is sometimes avoided by certain people, but WhatsApp is becoming very common. So I am myself not going to share this video to WhatsApp, but I want some other person who really feels that this is a genuine video sorry. So if he feels yes, then you share it to WhatsApp, and then let it move like a bijli, means like a current, like electricity, and I am sure that whoever watches it will benefit from it and will take sensible diet decisions based on this as well as those other videos which I have already shared. Okay, so it's nearly 22 minutes. Thank you for listening patiently to me, and as I have already told you, I am not yet a very experienced person at giving speech. In fact, I hardly talk. I am more keen on taking down the knowledge rather than giving the knowledge, but still the majburi is there. So I have written a book, and now these videos also, it seems quite interesting to make videos so easily. So I have experimented with it, and I really hope for a wholehearted support from all of you, and I really hope that you will share it like anything in the entire social media. Rest assured, people will thank you for this, because there will be immediate difference in his life, and he too will realize that yes, this seems to be the real truth of heart attack, and nothing else going to help me. It's only and only diet, and that too 90% good, 10% liberty is given so that his happiness does not get affected at all. That is very important for me. Okay, thank you. Good night.